Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Abigail, the ultimate guru. With me is my co host, the world's only comedian, Bryden Proctor.
Hello.
You don't have to worry about a thing because we are here to help. I know. I know you're all adrift at sea out there looking for a life raft. Well, it's here. We can be your life raft. If you'd like to submit a Dear Abby letter or a question to be discussed on air, you can DM us on Twitter at OctoAbby or Bryden at World's Only Comic. Let's get right into it. I got a Dear Abby submission first. It's from Ikari, Ortho Ikari. I don't know what the first bit means. I'm just going to ignore it. I like your joke questions, but if I don't understand what you're saying, I don't know. Like, what can I even say about it? I'm sorry.
All right.
But the second question is
what
what? Go ahead.
what you're saying is you want more jokes about breastfeeding. So
No.
you heard her, folks.
Well,
All
I
right,
know
fellas,
other
get in
things.
there. Breastfeeding
Okay, you know
jokes.
what?
Ask her about her tits. Breastfeeding
That's not what I
jokes.
want. No,
Ask her
please
about her
stop.
tits.
Bryden, no. Don't do that. I don't want to. I don't know. I will block you if you do that. And I don't usually block people. But I'll ask the question anyway then. You want to hear? Maybe you know what it means. Dear Abby, why do Americans think that Sully is a better pilot than Captain Alfred C. Haynes of United Flight 232? What is that? What is that?
Oh, well, I don't know
Is
about
that the 9/11 thing? Like, what's going? What?
Oh,
What is this?
I don't know about the second fella. I know the first fella is Sully. He had some geese fly into his engine, and they got minced. And then he went down in some river in New York and shit like that. I don't know who the second guy is, but I don't know. I mean, the best pilots, as you mentioned, as you did just say, were the 9/11 hijackers. But
Oh
yeah,
no!
so you know,
I mean, they accomplished what they were trying to accomplish.
yeah, that's okay.
Almost, I guess. They missed one, but
Jesus. Okay.
well,
Yeah,
please, I'm just.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Okay, the second question is what do women tend to think about dog ownership? Will it help or hinder me wife searching in it? I don't in it. So no, I don't know why. It's fine. I mean, some women won't like dogs, maybe, but I don't think it'll be that big of a deal either way. And it's probably a good way to attract a woman, like if you just walk around with a cute dog. So if you don't have a very ugly dog, it's probably a help.
Okay. Well, now bitches do love pugs.
They do
So a-
love them.
and they're ugly as shit. So
Oh my
there's
goodness. No. Oh wait, you just reminded me of something that I think is amazing. So my husband was watching like David Lynch's Dune, and I like Star Trek TNG a lot, and there's Patrick Stewart charging into battle with a pug. He was showing me videos. It was so cute. So people should look that up. It's cute.
I never got into
He just
Dune.
had a pug. He's holding a pug and he charges into battle holding a cute pug.
Well, I
Patrick
okay.
Stewart. Patrick Stewart does.
Patrick
In
Stewart,
David Lynch's Dune.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, same guy, right? Or what are you talking?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
all
That's
right.
what happens. I think it was Dune. Yeah, it was. I think so. Yeah, it was.
I don't know shit about Dune, dude. I know the spice and all of that. Listen, here's the plan that I think the guys should have when it comes to getting a dog. All right, get a dog. That's fine. Dogs, man's best friend, all that fucking dumb bullshit or whatever. But here's what you do: you name him Howdy. All right, and you go. And then when you walk around the park, stalking broads, right? But you walk around the park, and then when they come over, they're like
Skulking.
stalking, yeah. And then
Yeah.
they go, oh, what's his name? And go, oh, it's Howdy. And they're like, oh, howdy. Oh, and you're like, yeah, it's called How Did You Meet This Gal?
Oh, that's
That's
terrible.
what you do. That's what you do. And then you take them out for a night of drinking and you take your money clip out because you got to keep all your money in cash and money clip, pay with cash all night.
Oh my goodness.
And then remember, you got to give her the second cell phone, not your main cell phone.
You're
But
such a sleazebag. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about, you didn't even get to the hotel part yet.
Okay, go ahead.
You gotta say my house is being renovated right now, and then point to like a good neighborhood. But I am staying at this hotel, and then boom, there you go. Then you just leave the dog at the hotel and then get another one because who gives a shit.
I okay.
It's yes though. Yeah, get a dog.
Yes, get a dog. That's our answer.
Yep. Collectively, she endorsed my part of the answer as well.
I just don't know how to respond to it. That was like the worst joke ever. The howdy, yeah.
Yeah. Bitches are
That was-
fucking bitch. Like all the skanks that listen to this fucking show, were like,
They're not skanks. They're beautiful, wonderful, perfect sweeties.
yeah. All right, listen here, you little fucking pigs. I know
What?
that you liked the howdy line. If some, who's that Twilight actor? He was just the Batman guy.
Well, why am I blanking on this?
I
I
don't
know
know.
what his name is.
He's the new hot guy though, and like bitches like
Pat.
him.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, yeah, the bitches like him. Like if he was like, oh, I don't even know what he sounds like, so I'm gonna do. His
Like
name is
English.
Howdy.
Oh my god!
Like just Batman voice.
Yes, that would definitely be very attractive if he sounded exactly like that.
Like Christian Bale's Batman. Yeah, exactly. So he's like, his name is Howdy.
Oh my goodness.
My house is under renovation at the moment. Would you like to go to the hotel bar? And then, yeah, of course you're gonna do it. Like it's like a
Yeah.
faucet, dude. Just drip, 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 drip. It's gone.
Yeah, sure, I endorse this. You go try that.
I think that the guy who wrote in should try that. Yes.
Okay, let's move on to our first Reddit story. Moving on,
Yeah.
that was the only question I got this week. Well, I actually got some from Tappy, but he's like getting worse with every question he sends me. He's just trying to derail us, I think.
Well,
So no.
Tappy and American Lad are gonna have their own podcast here pretty soon.
Oh no, we
yeah, it's
pumped him
gonna
up
rule.
too much.
It's gonna rule. I'm excited for it, and that'll be our our sister cast.
Is that what it is? They're
Yeah.
they're our sister cast.
Well, like sister
We should
cities.
form a network.
Yes. Yeah. We'll call it. I wish I had the bleep button. Okay, let's just do the Reddit thing before I say the fucking N word.
Okay. Well, you can do that on Twitter now, I hear.
No,
Anyway.
can't.
That's what everyone keeps saying. How do I get my boyfriend to stop digging his tunnel?
What?
So
This is. I was hoping we talk about this one. Read on.
So I know this is a weird question, but my boyfriend likes to spend a lot of his free time digging a tunnel on some property that he inherited. I haven't seen the full extent of it, but last I saw it was remarkably deep under the surface. He spent roughly a year on it, and it's evident. The front of the thing is deep, wide, well put together. At the front, which is the only part I've seen, he's got it cement beams, electric lights, even chairs, and a small table. I haven't gone into it, but it looked like the quality severely dropped as the tunnel went further, mostly becoming open dirt with some wood beams holding it up. This is like extensive. He's even got like wooden beams in there, like a mine tunnel.
And she's complaining about the wooden beam. She's like, "Well, they're not cement."
Well, like that's not realistic. How would you even do that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't build tunnels, but you could do it. What'd be really great is after he's done, he puts a sign up that says, "You're pussy, bitch," and then he divorces
no.
her.
No. There's this dude in my neighborhood. I'm sorry, I just looked out my window and I saw him walking by. He goes for walks all the time and he looks like Keemstar. One time I was coming in the neighborhood with my window rolled down driving and I saw him walking his dog and I had to do a double take, like a triple take. I was like, why is Keemstar in my neighborhood?
That would rule if you just lived near
Sorry.
Keemstar and didn't know.
Yeah. Maybe I do. I don't know. I just saw him, right out my window walking in front of my house. It's just like, oh, Keemstar is back. I can't say that
But it's
out loud. And
but-
then I did. So
Yeah, but instead it's just like some guy who works at a fucking vape shop.
yeah. He dresses like Keemstar too. That's the thing. He looks exactly like him. Like he wears a
Yeah.
hat all the time. Like
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. It's I live next to Keemstar.
Yeah, that's a type of
I
guy
need-
though.
I need to talk to him and see what he sounds like. Because if he sounds like very effeminate, then he's probably Keemstar.
I don't think Keemstar sounds effeminate,
I'm
but
just
like
joking. I'm being mean for no reason.
what I am saying is if you go talk to that guy, he is that type of guy who dresses like that and works at a vape shop is going to take that as you're hitting on him, and he will
Oh,
never
yeah,
leave
no,
you
I don't
alone.
want that.
Yeah,
Never
that
mind.
will. Yeah, you don't want to talk to that guy. Also, under that hat, it's a very balding head.
Oh, no. Okay, I will not approach this man to ask him if he's Keemstar. That would be very strange.
Also, it might be rude. What if he gets that a lot? He's like, come
Oh,
on,
no.
you know. It's no good. A lot of my bread and butter on D Live is like just saying like this person looks like an uglier that person or whatever. I mean, that's like half my fucking act, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, you can't. It's people take offense to that like a lot. Like I've tried to do that at social events and they don't like it. Like I was at it's odd to picture my old ass at a party, but I went to a birthday party recently, and there was a guy that he looked like Jack Harlow but fat, so I called him Fat Harlow.
Oh,
Um,
no.
it was funny.
That's because it's an insult. He doesn't appreciate that you're just going out and you're roasting people like you're at a comedy roast.
A little bit. It might
I
have been
don't
a
think
little of that.
people
He wasn't
expect
mad.
that to happen
He
in
was.
their day-to-day lives. I say this as someone who teases people too much, actually. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, you look like somebody spilled toxic waste on Donna from that
You
70s
don't
show.
Do you know what I look like?
Yeah, dumb bitch.
You've never I don't think I've Okay, whatever. You just keep talking about that. We'll see. My biggest concern is his safety. I'm really worried that he's going to dig too deep and it'll collapse on him or something, which it won't. He's got wooden beams. That's what they're for. I think it's probably
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, mines have never collapsed.
Yeah, ever. I don't think I've heard of it. I've tried voicing this concern to him, but he just laughs it off and assures me that he'll be fine. Aside from safety concerns, there's also the fact that he doesn't really have a social life because of this thing. I'm pretty much the only person he talks to outside of his job, and he doesn't go out and do anything
Oh, come
anymore.
on. Bitch, you don't know what's in that cave. You have no idea what's in that
In a
hole.
cave all the time.
There could be so much shit going on in that fucking cave. She has no idea. She's like, oh, I haven't been in it. So it's like, oh, so you don't know that they're doing Russian roulette tournaments down there? You have no fucking idea they got illegal gambling going on.
It's very possible. If that might change my opinion on this, my advice on this, if that's the case. We'll have to think about that. It used to be that he'd occasionally head out to do some digging on the weekends, but now he spends almost all of his free time out there. He still comes home, but he barely spends any time with me. And I know that he isn't doing anything but digging the damn hole in the ground. This can't be good for his mental health, but I don't know how to convince him to stop. um, he's always really happy when he comes back from digging, which is why I haven't seriously tried to stop him before. But I was talking to a friend about him, and she told me that he might be going crazy. Obviously, I don't think he's insane, but I hadn't considered the mental health aspect of all this, and I just don't know what to do.
I like I like how it took her this long to be like, huh, he might be mentally fucking deranged of some sort. I mean, yes, he has just spent just tens of thousands of dollars digging a really big hole for no reason that I'm really clear on, but I'm just thinking he wasn't spending enough time with me watching Becoming Anna.
Oh my goodness. That's it. Yeah, she was just so focused on him coming and watching reality shows with her or whatever she wants to do that she just had no idea. Like, oh yeah, he's months and months just every day and day in and day out digging this hole to nowhere. Like he's like a troll goblin thing at this point. He's just like, yeah, a goblin in a cave.
Just max it. I mean, around the third credit card that he maxed out on digging machinery, I just kind of occurred to me like, my friend Sabrina might be right. This might not be a healthy thing.
She didn't say anything about spending money on machinery. Like he wired up lights and stuff, like cement beams, electric lights, and chairs and a small table. But she didn't say anything about him buying like a tunnel digger situation. He's doing this with a shovel, Bryden. He's shoveling the dirt out of this tunnel every day.
That rules, dude. He has the spirit of like.
It's amazing.
Just like some type of a prisoner from olden times that they were like dig a hole. I don't know. No, okay. Is it healthy to make a giant tunnel for no reason? Of course it is. Tunnels are pretty sweet. Um, like, has she ever considered the fact that maybe he's digging all the way to China to get an Asian wife to get away from her dumb fucking ass?
It's
We don't
possible.
know.
I mean, he's probably just going primal. He's just insane. He started digging a hole and became obsessed because he's psychotic, and now he's just going to live in there. So she should probably just break up with him and let him live in his hole if he likes it. Like, I mean,
What
he's
if he?
probably happy.
Wait, what if he's just digging the biggest grave in the world so that he can throw her in it, and then like that'll be that? You know, like that old. What was that old? I think it was. Oh shoot! What was that story about the guy? He takes the dude in the basement, and then he's like, he's a
The
bricklayer.
Count of Amontillado or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
Count of
Count of
Monte
Monticello,
Cristo,
Monte Cristo,
whatever it
something like that.
was.
Yeah, yeah. What if it's one of those? He's like, look at this. You have to
No,
see
that was the
this.
cask of Amontillado. That's a different one. I think it's, yeah, I don't know.
I think it's the
Sorry.
Count of Monte Cristo. I have no fucking
Yeah,
idea.
it's
But
something.
I think it was an Edgar Allan Poe thing, wasn't it? I don't remember.
Dude, we are gonna look like retards. Don't try to
I
dig
don't
this hole
give a shit.
further. We are not the one digging
I
holes.
will dig holes. I dig holes.
It probably was Edgar Allan Poe. We're just gonna go with that.
Listen, the point is, throw that bitch in there and a raven, make her fucking, do the whole deal up, and then throw some wine at her and shit, and be like, "See you, slut," and then fill it with concrete and go get a hot blonde because she liked your dog. That's what I'm saying.
That would be a lot of work. Just, I mean, he could just dig a much smaller hole
The perfect
if he
crime.
was. How is that everyone knows he was digging this hole?
Yeah, it was the perfect crime. It was a tragedy. He was like, my wife died in a tunnel collapse.
When he cemented the hole?
Yeah, he's like, I'm
It
such a I'm
collapsed.
such a fool. I have to cover it up because no one should go into this hole again.
I think it's genius. I think this is gonna work.
I
So she should go to the hole. That's your advice. She
Yeah,
should just go and talk to him at the hole.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and then walk in there a lot. Ahead of
Yeah,
him.
and
Ahead
see
of
what
him.
see what happens. Just check it out. You haven't been inside. Just go. I think I'm supposed to be arguing with you on this, but it's too funny.
It's just fucking rules. Some guy's out there just digging a hole because like he's lost his goddamn mind and hates his wife. Like that's the whole thing. He was like, I'm gonna dig a hole.
I
It's
think
like,
he just is a goblin creature.
well, it's just like, I mean, there was a Bill Burr bit in one of his specials. Bill Burr used to talk about how like his dad would just go out in the garage and just hit a pipe with a wrench. I think that's just the same thing. He just hates his wife.
He just hates his wife. Maybe
Yeah,
so.
I hate her too. Stupid bitch complaining on Twitter. God damn internet.
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, my next Reddit post from uh, r/relationships is the opposite of that, right? The opposite of hating her and wanting to kill her. How do I show my girlfriend that I love her?
Oh, hit her. Dig a hole and put her in it.
Okay, but that was for people who hate them,
No,
I
it's like a
thought.
general
Just
rule.
a baseline rule
Yeah.
across the board. Okay. My girlfriend and I have been together for 9 months. We tell each other I love you all the time. However, lately she says that she thinks I don't actually love her and I'm just using her for sex.
Leave. She's a crazy bitch. Leave. You're done. That's nope. Not a chance in the world that this is gonna be fine. 9 months and she's pulling this bullshit. You guys haven't even done anything unless you got together because she was pregnant. Nope. You gotta leave. You gotta leave. All right. I'm sure there's more to this, but I think you have to agree with me. You gotta run. Crazy bitch.
I mean, you could just run if you don't want to deal with it, but if you actually do love her and that's what you want to show her, maybe you
He
could
doesn't.
just
He doesn't. How old is he? 21.
25.
Yeah. Nah. You don't. Men don't get to love anybody until they're 30.
Well, that's not, I mean,
That's true.
my husband's not even 30.
Well, got some bad news for you, Toots.
No, that's okay. Don't even start. This post is going to be about me in 9 months if you start. No, but but no. I mean, if you just maybe you should talk to her. I don't know. That might be a good idea. Like, ask her exactly what she needs. you
She's
to
not.
say.
No,
And
she's.
if it's just an impossible task because she's being psycho, then yeah, you're not married. You could just leave.
Ugh, what is the rest of the post? What is his griping? This is
No,
not a.
it's just him saying like, well, I do this, this, and this, and I tell her that I love her even when we fight and stuff. I don't really know what to do. That's really it.
Quit being a fucking pussy. Go fuck one of her friends, and
I
then
mean,
she'll love you.
very likely she has like some sort of
Vagina.
thing that happened to her that made her just feel like they're probably like childhood trauma, and there's only so much you can do other than just listen to her and see if you can figure something out. I mean, if you love her. So,
That's a bullshit
I
excuse.
don't know. I'm just
I
saying.
no,
I
that's a
mean, that's
bullshit.
why she might just be crazy
Okay,
too.
I have all kinds of childhood trauma, and I turned out just fine. You
Oh yeah,
dumb
you're doing
bitch.
great. You're doing great.
I'm doing
DJ
fucking
Beer
good.
Belly.
DJ Beer Billy is hilarious because I'm self-aware and I could poke fun of myself. All right,
It's cute though. I do like it.
dude, I'm the fucking best. All right, so I'm gonna go and dig a hole, and all the people that have ever slighted me are welcome to come and visit my giant fucking hole I'm digging in the ground.
Yeah, you can play Russian roulette.
Oh, there'll be some type of guns involved.
Oh
But
my goodness gracious.
no, no, I mean, like, dude, what does he mean? Like, she just snapped one day? Like, he's leaving. There's got to be something in the story that's like, oh,
It
and
just
I,
sounds like she's very insecure.
sure, who's not?
Yeah, it just sounds like she's very insecure and is not convinced for whatever reason. And I would assume
How old is she?
27.
Really, dude? She seems like, well, yeah, it just seems like she should be over that by then, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so.
She's probably just fishing for attention. I don't know. You can wait it out. You can wait it out.
I don't know. Yeah, there might be something you can figure out. And if you can, like, convince her of it, then that would be cool. But
There's nothing to convince. I mean, like, she's just wrapped up in her own damn ego. I like how you didn't even read the story. Don't have to read the story. We've all fucking, every dude has dealt
yeah.
with this shit before. And the thing is, there's nothing to convince. There's nothing to convince. She's probably cheating on you anyway.
Oh, come on.
Nah, they do that. They love
Not
doing it.
everyone is cheating.
They love doing it. It's their whole bread and butter.
Okay, let's get into something more interesting. I was on r slash just no mother-in-law, which for those that
How's
don't
that?
know, it's just they just go and they talk about their psychotic in-laws. And I don't, okay, I want to introduce the world of mother-in-law, daughter-in-law drama to you people. And I'm gonna find better ones in the future for this, but I brought one really long one today. That's a good example, like a general example, but some of them get really crazy. Mom forums are insane.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they're the stories, like yeah, like in-laws literally trying to kill people.
Oh, that rules, dude. That's
Like and make it look like they didn't. Like there's all sort of like weird, like super villain, like convoluted plans going on, and it's insane. It's crazy. There's like attempted kidnappings. Anyway, this one is a lot more chill, but it's pretty basic, and I think I can give some advice on it. Um, Mother-in-law and father-in-law gave us an intervention days before I give birth. The whole thing is kind of ridiculously funny that I just have to post about it on here. I have a scheduled induction next week, and last weekend my in-laws invited us over for a chat. It was the morning after hubby and I went to the hospital. Don't call people hubby, never mind. And I went to the hospital for a baby-related. Worse is wifey. I don't know. Something about wifey is just like, why is a man talking like this? Like I don't know.
all of that shit's pretty gay. I agree. Although Kanye did say one time classically in one of his songs, and then me and wifey make a movie. So he gets more of a pass, but he's Kanye. He also just says all kinds of weird shit.
Well, he
I
made it rhyme or something. Like he made it flow better.
no, it didn't rhyme at all. I mean,
It
none of it
doesn't really
rhymed.
matter.
Anyway, Kanye's great. His relationship's is going really well. But
I'm sure
yeah,
it is. Okay. It was the morning after hubby and I went to the hospital for a baby-related scare where I was being monitored for 3+ hours in the middle of the night, so we were already exhausted with emotions running high. Anyways, in-laws knew about this and still invited us over for a confrontation. Mother-in-law kicked it off by saying we've been married for almost 2 years now and there's been no progress of integration of me into their family. She feels like I don't
What?
treat them the way I treat my parents. I don't come to spend the day at their house. And that they
What?
both feel like instead of gaining a daughter, they've lost their son.
Oh God.
Then she cries. Father in law steps up and starts raising his voice at my husband. So you can see what's happening here. These people are insane, but this happens a lot more often than
That
you'd think,
that.
Bryden.
Well,
It's
see here's the thing.
babies make grandparents go insane. I'll tell my story someday because yeah.
One of the two people are crazy. Either the mother is crazy, and she's this is all from her lens, right? Or the in-laws are crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
all I can say in general
But
is all of those people sound pretty annoying to be around.
well, she hasn't done anything. She's just pregnant and they're yelling at her.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, pregnant women never do anything. They just cry all the time. I'm not choosing sides here. I'm just saying, let's take this from a.
This happens.
Uh, well, I think that pregnant women are also crazy. That happens.
They are crazy too. Which is why you shouldn't do this to them because they might go crazy. You never know. It's a flurry of questions that go, why don't you both come around? Why don't you call us? Why doesn't she text us? And pointed at me. The list goes on. Honestly, it was just a big shitstorm targeted at us for not reaching out to them as much as they want us to. He says he feels alienated by us, that we don't consult him regarding decisions we make, and that husband forgets that he's still a child.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Wait, how old is he?
I mean, they're grown adults. Let me look. It doesn't say their age.
All right, so they might be fucking 18, 19 years old.
Well, no, they have their own house and stuff.
Yeah,
That's why the
okay.
parents are upset because like they're not at home. Like that's old
Uh,
enough. It doesn't matter. This is unacceptable.
mm, I mean, the age thing makes a big difference to me,
Well, it
dude.
doesn't say how old they are, and people do this like years after. I mean,
If my mother or father ever said they have told me you're still my child, and that's usually when they're like, I will give you my advice, even though I know you're not going to take it. You are still my child, type of thing. But like, if my mom was ever like, you're still a child, I'd be like, you are a feeble old woman. You're
well, yeah.
lucky I
So
don't take your legs from you.
that's what I'm saying. This literally happened to me with my grandparents. I want to. I'll tell that story in a minute. Well, I could just tell it now. Actually, I wasn't. I had, I was pregnant with my second child. My first child was a toddler. We had our own house and everything, and I was busy with being a mom and pregnant and trying to take care of a house and
This
everything.
is
My
so
husband.
hard.
And so I didn't call my grandma often enough. She would call me first a few times a week, and I thought that was fine. Well, apparently she was very sad about it, and she whined about it to my grandpa. So they showed up unannounced at my house one day, and they they came in, and while my toddler was like grabbing onto me because she like just felt, you know, she didn't know these people very well, I guess. She's
Right.
she's a toddler, whatever. It takes a while for them to get used to people and stuff. They have to see them more often. But anyway, my grandpa tells me that I'm still a child. I have to do what he says, and if I don't call my grandmother more often, I think he said every 2 days or something, he said something specific, then he will come back and he will beat me.
Well,
And I said, are you joking? And I looked at him and I looked at my grandma and they just looked very serious. And he said, no, I'm not joking. You're still a child. And I was like, no, I have children. Like, I'm not a child. He's like, no, I'm older than you. You're still a child. You have to do what I say. And he just threatens again to beat me up. And I told him, well, okay, I will call the cops if you come back. And I never talked to them again. But anyway, what I'm saying
well,
is
your grandpa was
this
right. Your
happens.
grandpa was
This
right.
happens
He was.
is all I'm saying.
I'm just saying that it's good when that happens. You sold me on now.
Why?
I'm on the other side.
Why?
I don't know,
What
cause
about that was good?
I think that's funny when
What
that
is
happens. I think that is funny.
you just think it's funny now because it happened to me. You were
Yeah,
totally against it a minute ago because you were imagining it happened to you. But I shouldn't have told my story. It was better when you were imagining it
yeah,
happening to you.
yeah.
Now
No,
it's
now,
funny.
yeah,
Yeah, it's funny to you.
now I think it's great. Actually, I think that grandpas should go around threatening just random people. Really.
It's just so ridiculous. And he's got like bad knees. Like he couldn't do it, but he said that in front of my kid. I was pregnant. It's just not like he needed to just go.
No, I'm pretty sure that old men should threaten pregnant ladies
No.
like all the time. I mean, that's I can't think of no because if it happens enough,
No.
eventually I'll get to see it. And I'll be like, "Oh, that
This is
fucking rules."
ridiculous. Well, how about this? You show up to my grandpa's house. I'll show up to my grandpa's house and I'll probably try to beat me up if I do because they hate me now.
All that rules. I mean, I hate the part where I have to do shit. Why don't you just like live stream it? And I'll just watch.
Okay, I'll live stream it
I'll just watch as you get your
just
shit
just
pummeled
for
in
you.
by an
Yeah.
old man.
Oh my
That's great
goodness.
because
I'm not doing that.
I'm picturing him wearing like suspenders and like a hat, and like he's like, "Listen here, you fucking bitch," and then he's like spitting tobacco all over your carpet. Like that rules in my head. That is super funny. So
It was not funny at the time. It is really funny looking back. Like it's a ridiculous situation.
it's
It's
kind of
absurd. It
crazy.
sounds like I'm making it up, but it happened and in the moment I was so upset. I was like this is not okay.
It's a little.
But it's funny now.
It's a little aggressive. It's probably not the route that I would take if I wanted somebody to do something.
The first
Um,
time he said it, I thought he was joking because I don't know why, because it's a ridiculous thing to say. That's why I told him to clarify. Yeah, no, he wasn't joking. Okay, back to the back to the
yeah,
story.
all
I
right.
just wanted to add my anecdotal evidence that these things happen, so I 100% believe this lady's side of it. Hubby explains that he has a new business to run. He's busy working 6 days a week, and when he's not working, he wants to relax at home with me. We're going to be parents soon, and we have a lot going on in our lives, so forgive us for not always wanting to spend every free minute at their house. Father
Plus,
in law
he's been
didn't.
building this goddamn tunnel outside. So,
He's busy. Don't worry about the wife that you hate. She'll be gone soon. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just still picturing like a guy in
The
suspenders, like
tunnel.
the guy from Hotel
Oh my
Hell,
god.
spitting on the carpet, going, "Why?" Like that just it's too funny to me.
It's ridiculous. I'm sure it'd be very funny. Um, let's see, where was I? Oh, father-in-law didn't like this reply and freaked out even more, blaming me for not bringing them closer together. I told him it wasn't my responsibility to mend their relationship, and it's pretty unrealistic for me to treat them the way I treat my parents. Blah, blah, blah. She has a good relationship with her parents. It's impossible for me to create that bond in 2 years with my in laws who are completely different personalities.
Wait a
Mother,
second. You're
what?
telling me that the crazy in-laws that are having an issue don't have a good relationship with their son?
Seems like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wonder
I
why.
wonder.
It's a mystery.
That's nuts. That's I'll bet they have a lot of friends in their neighborhood as well.
They're probably like these ladies on Nextdoor making death threats against people who talk smack about the HOA. That
Those
I've seen this.
those ladies rule. Like I never
It's,
say girls
it's
rock, but
amusing.
that shit rules. Like if just like Susan is on next door going, "Listen here, you son of a bitch! I'm gonna come by and cut your neck with a knife." Like that rules.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I'm glad I have Nextdoor now. It's pretty fun.
It's like a private Facebook for a neighborhood. It's the best thing in the world. People are crazy. They're supposed to use it for like, "Hi, my car got broken into," but instead they're like, "Did you know that Dave's kid is a slut?" Like
Yeah, it's so funny.
next door is amazing.
There will be like passive aggressive posts like hello to my neighbor who they could have just gone and knocked on the door. But PSA to everyone, teenagers need to stay out of my yard. And it's just like, well, why
Uh,
didn't you just go and say
Why don't you
something?
should throw
I don't know.
rocks at the teenage kids? Just throw rocks at set up
It would
fucking
help.
automatic salt guns. That way, when they get in your yard, you just rocks them in the fucking legs with salt. Like that's fine.
That's fine. I don't think the HOA would like that
I think
very much.
I think that's hilarious. And if I were a teenager and that ever happened to me, I wouldn't go to that fucking yard anymore. As an
Yeah.
adult, if it happened to me, I'd file a lawsuit. But like, a teenager, you can salt rock kids out of your yard.
I don't know. Their parents would probably sue.
Ah.
No. Okay. Mother-in-law is still crying, saying she feels like I act like a guest in their house. But thankfully, my husband threatened to leave because he said he didn't come here for his wife to be attacked. Finally, father-in-law breaks down and says he's just upset because his lifelong dream is to wake up every day beside his grandchildren and be surrounded by them, raise them and spend his days with us and them, and feels like my husband and I are threatening his dreams. We've had no
What?
words.
What? Why don't you start a commune then? Why do you own a farm where you grow weed? What the fuck are you talking about?
So this is also a problem where grandparents, when like a first grandchild is born, they're still in parent mindset. And that's where a lot of the tension starts with bad like in-law relationships, is they think that they're the parents. And so they have this baby that's in their lives and it's their son's son or their daughter's son or whatever, and they just think that's my kid. And they just automatically act like that is their child, and it gets very frustrating.
I wonder if that ever happened to. And my sister's a cunt, and we haven't talked since 2017. But I wonder if that ever happened with my. I know it didn't happen with my dad. He barely parented us. But uh, I wonder if that ever happened with my mom. I know that they adore these kids. They love the grandkids, as they should. And I love my
Yeah.
niece and nephew. I mean, they're good. They're just little people or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder if that ever happened. How common is it? Because like every time I ever talk to my father and my mother about my niece and nephew, they're usually like, well, they're doing great, and that's good. That's great. And then Christmas they get presents. Is basically it. They've they've never once been like, your little shit sister's raising them wrong. Like they never were once like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
So
maybe you just have good parents or something.
oh no no
I
no
think.
no 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 no! Let's not say that they're good parents. They
Oh, okay.
tried.
Sorry.
They tried the best they could. I'll give them that.
That's what we all do. I think honestly, parents all need to apologize to their children when their children like become teenagers and just be like, "Look, I was trying really hard. I'm sorry." That's what I honestly 100% believe that.
I mean, it's there's just so much weird stuff that I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? But I'm older than my parents were when they had me. I'm an old man. I'm
Yeah.
34. So it's like, yeah, I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that other than like, I gauge them as the people that they are now, which is
Hmm.
I don't like them too much now either. I like they're just fucking boring, stupid people. Like I mean, they're not very intelligent folks. But I love them because it's like the
Man, I
law.
hope they never like check out your YouTube.
No, I literally tell them this. I tell them I love them. It's required by law. But I mean, no, I don't. I don't respect their fucking opinions on anything. And my mom now
Well,
accepts this. She's like, oh yeah, shit, fuck, he's smarter than I am. My dad, terrible CNN
that's what she
watching fella.
says.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly in that
no.
same voice. She's like, I'm actually a gay retard. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't. I just. I don't recall them ever being any like your sister's fucking up the kids.
Yeah, well, they might not be doing that. No, I mean, I think it is fairly common, but it's not like everyone. It's probably not quite half even, but I think it is like a lot. Like, I don't know. A safe guess I would say is like 20%. That they at least starts like this, and sometimes they go crazy over it, and like the relationship can't really be mended because of what happens there and harsh words said and things like that. And then sometimes they just kind of like snap out of it and realize, oh, wait, I'm not mom, I'm grandma. And they
Which
just kind of figure it out.
which seems like an easier, better job because everybody fucking loves
Oh,
grandma.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. It happened with my mother-in-law, who I love her very much, but I don't think she realized she was doing this. But we lived with them when we had our first baby, and she would just like come and take the baby out of the bassinet, like while I was sleeping in the morning, like before I got up, and go to the store. And I would wake up and my baby's gone.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
and yeah, it was horrifying. it was horrifying. It terrified me. Or the baby would be gone and, like she's just, out there with my mother-in-law and she wanted like things like that. And
But
I think it just literally did not occur to her that like, oh wait, that's not my, like how would I have felt? Because she's like she's used to being the mom and this is her grandchild. I really don't think she meant anything by it. But when I pushed for us to move out pretty fast because
well,
it was just our relationship was deteriorating fast. And then, we improved it after that. And now she doesn't do anything like that and hasn't for years.
you don't want to bet.
Um,
You don't want to bet. A lot of it was. It's like, oh, I'm helping, type of thing.
mhm.
Like, the baby's
She
not
thought she
gonna.
was helping, but
Right.
what she was doing was like making me terrified someone had kidnapped. Well,
You
that's
gotta
because
leave a
like
note.
I was having night terrors that my mom was going to steal my baby because she was being completely psychotic at the time. So yeah, it wasn't freaking helpful to wake up and my baby be gone. But whatever.
I,
She stopped.
I'll bet a post-it note of like, "Hey, glad you could. Well, this sounds passive aggressive. Glad you could sleep in a little. Went to the store to buy baby formula or whatever. It seems like it was probably
Yeah, that
like
would have
a,
been fine
you know,
if I just knew where the baby was.
kind
Like that
of.
would be fine.
Well, I mean, she also grew up in a time in which like cell phones weren't a thing, type of deal.
Mm,
I think
yeah.
I think it was just women being awful, but not on purpose and just kind of what you do. But yeah, yeah, no, I understand I understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
with that. Uh,
Yeah, so I think this happens with first babies, and sometimes they go totally crazy about it. But this right here, the father-in-law talking about how like they're threatening his dreams because they're not going to like live with them and let him raise their kids for him is like straight up crazy. And then it goes on to say,
wait. This is something
yeah,
else we didn't take into consideration. What
yeah.
if he was trying to do like some type of like Jack Black School of Rock situation, where him and his grandkids started a band?
Well, I mean, that would not require them to be raised by him.
It would be. I mean, they'd be raised in the School of Rock.
Raised in the school. Well, I don't know. I mean, that would be pretty
They'd
cool,
be
but it's still
raised to
not his
rock and
place.
roll. This would be important. I could understand.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess I could see it. But it goes on to say we had no words for that one other than he should have stayed back home in 1990s Pakistan if you really expected that. So it's like, so yeah, yeah. I don't know why you would say that though. That's pretty mean. Oh my goodness.
Maybe not. Well, because it's a backwards time.
Yeah.
1991. The Pakistan stuff has nothing to do with it. All cultures are the same. It has more to do with him wanting to start a grunge band. I mean, he was probably more. I'm really stuck on him just starting a band.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's what's happening here. My advice to this woman though is that your husband needs to
Be white.
just
Uh, what? He's
consistently stand up for you and consistently defend you. It seems like he did pretty good in this. And if they can't figure out that this is not their place and they're crossing major boundaries and being psycho, then they're just going to have to go away. I mean, you're just going to have to stop talking to them until they can calm down. Like sometimes you have to put these people in timeouts because they're throwing tantrums like toddlers.
whoa, dude. We're talking about Pakistanis here. That's really rude. Um,
Yeah.
I would say get a tiny little like baby guitar, right? And then like get his little fingers to do. No, that's good. And then like get a little overalls as well, and a trucker hat, and make him a country star, and be like, "Oh, my grandpa was from Pakistan. I don't know who I am, being stuck in
I thought this was
America since the
rock.
day I was born."
This is not rock.
Yeah, but it's country.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like
Well, what
country
does that
rock.
have to do with anything? Yeah, I thought it was the School of Rock.
Well, it's a school of country, pop country mainly.
Okay,
You didn't even wait for the hook, where it was like
okay, fine.
it just went full into just like you know, it was like, who was the best pilot? The one from 9/11. I don't know. That's what we call a callback.
was masterfully done. That was very natural. It was
Yeah,
pretty good.
it'd be great. That's
This
my advice.
you're gonna like this one though. This is from R dash Am I the asshole?
Oh boy, they always
Am I
are
the
though.
They really are. I don't think I've seen one where they're not at
You're an
all.
asshole if you're on Reddit and you're like, did I fuck up when I like accidentally fingered this waitress at Applebee's? Like I told her sorry. Like, yeah, you're a prick.
Yeah, you would be a prick for doing that. You're right. Am I the asshole for embarrassing my friend over her baby name?
Yes.
So, so my friend is about 5 months pregnant and has been talking about baby names with her partner lately. She's having a girl and likes to run some of her ideas by our friend group to see what we think.
Soda.
Soda. Dr. Pepper. Pepper's cute. Little baby Peppa, like
No,
the pig.
no, no,
No.
no, no. You're not gonna name a kid
Yes.
Peppa Pig.
I'm
You're not
just
doing
kidding.
that.
It's terrible. Yesterday, we all got together to hang out, and she told us her latest favorite, chlamydia.
No, that's fake.
Before, before I had time to get over my shock, she starts going on about how ever since we had read the Odyssey in high school, she's always liked Greek mythology.
Oh
Uh,
no.
yes, it takes a minute but from the context she gives in the conversation, I figure out that she's talking about like Clytemnestra. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like Clytemnestra. I've never known how to pronounce that out loud because I've never heard it out loud. If you don't know and don't want to search, she's the wife of Agamemnon and sister of Helen of Troy. Yeah, so I interrupt her and go, "Wait, you mean I can't believe I Clytemnestra, not chlamydia, right?" And she's all, "No, I meant chlamydia." I have to explain to her that she's got the name mixed up and that chlamydia is an STD, not a figure from Greek mythology. After I bring up a Google search to prove my point, why can't you just let her be embarrassed and leave it? Now you have to Google in front of other people, too. She gets all awkward and quiet. The mood for the rest of our time together is kind of soured. When I get home, I see she sent me a long text telling me that
It's hold
I
on.
was a bad friend.
Oh,
Yeah?
I think I've got this one. I
Yeah.
knew what it like. Uh, I don't have it. I don't have it. It is a hard one.
What? What do you Oh, okay. Well,
Clytemnestra?
whatever.
Clytemnestra?
Yeah. It's hard. I think that might be closer than what I was saying.
I'm gonna.
Clytem-
Hold on. Hold on. You're not.
Clytemnestra.
How to pronounce? You're not gonna be able to hear it. But the people here. Here's a. Hold on.
The following pronunciation is brought to you by pronouncenames.com.
Okay, come on.
Oh, no.
Clytemnestra.
Clytemnestra. Okay, so
Okay.
nailed it, and I think you did as well.
We did a good job.
Hell
It's
yeah,
hard
dude.
to say. It's just too many.
Well, I just remember the thing being like very close to because I think we made fun of that in school as well.
Mhm.
Uh, back when they used to teach that shit in fucking high school. Now they don't. But anyway, let's hear about young chlamydia.
Yeah, so she's just very upset and says that I'm a bad friend for embarrassing her in front of everyone like that. She says I could have brought it up in private and didn't need to be so condescending about it. She was just talking about a name she liked and I made her feel like an idiot. I ignored the text because she was kind of being an idiot. Like what?
Yeah.
She
That's
just
fair
went based on a decade-old memory of a book we read in high school and mixed up the name with a common STD. A simple Google search before getting so attached, blah blah blah. So her other friends tell her she's being mean too, but she doesn't think she has anything to apologize for. And
Well,
just thinks this person is a retard, basically, which is fair, but like there was no tact here. Like
if
you can just tell her and laugh it off and not Google it and shove it in her face in front of everyone.
no, I mean I think googling it is fine, but the thing is like if somebody comes to you in earnest, and isn't being a fucking retard, like if they didn't wrong you and then you just goofed on them and dunked on them for being a bozo, if they come to you and they're like, "Hey, man, you hurt my feelings," then yeah, you should fucking apologize. I mean, because you hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
If anything, just say, "I'm sorry I hurt your feelings." It's not a real apology, but sorry I hurt your feelings. That's the one I use all the time. Sorry I hurt your feelings. I don't feel bad about it, but sorry I hurt your feelings. Maybe men are different than women in that regard, but
Well, it's not a sincere apology, and I think that it's not that men don't understand it's not a real apology. But I think they just don't care as much. For women, it's like, well, that's not a real apology. You're not sorry for anything. You're like we get more upset, I think.
Well, like if somebody says to me, like, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, to me, I'm like, well, they're acknowledging my emotion there that they did
It's
me.
better than nothing.
Well, it's not that it's better than nothing. I mean, it's the only thing that I could expect. It's like they may still disagree entirely that this is a big deal,
Yeah.
but they're acknowledging that I was hurt by it. And
Right.
that's good enough for me. That's it should be good enough for anybody. But if they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I don't see what the big deal is still, but I'm acknowledging that I wronged you and I regret, wronging you. We differ,
Yes.
we have
So
difference
that would
on.
be fine. I think the problem that comes up with that, just in my personal experience, is there's usually a but after, and it's like a continuation of the argument, like
Mhm.
just to, that's when it becomes a problem. I agree with what you're saying completely. It's just that usually people will add like a but because they don't want to give any ground. But if you just said like, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, like I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, I was just trying to explain it, and that's it, like that, I think that would be good. Yeah, that was probably
I
the
think
best thing to do.
Well, I think that's fine, but if somebody ever wants to add a but and we can have like a more calm conversation about it, I think that that's good. And then it's usually an agree to
Yeah, that's just
disagree.
not. Yeah. I mean, if you're looking for a conversation, yeah, but it's not an apology to start the discussion up again.
I don't
You know
know.
what I mean?
I
Like
get,
there's a difference between that and an apology.
I get it, but I mean, like, I like if somebody ever wrongs me, I don't expect them to think that they weren't right for doing it unless it's like particularly egregious, like they shot
Yeah.
me on accident or something, and even then they didn't mean to do it. Like it's most of the time, like when people do stuff, you just accept that and you go, that's what this person has done, and you make the decision to agree or disagree with them for that. I mean, just because you're wronged, or feel you're wronged rather, doesn't mean it really doesn't mean anything, and it shouldn't mean the end of friendships. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you on this. That's so ridiculous though, chlamydia.
No, it's
You have to
retarded.
point it out. You have to point it out. Like,
May
because what if she had just gone on and on about it like the whole night because you were waiting to bring it up in private? That would have been way more embarrassing.
I wouldn't have. I would have been way more harsh. I would have been like, chlamydia. Like, what do you fucking like? Black people don't even name their kids that. That's ridiculous. Like, that's here's another. Or I would have been like, hey, you know what? I've got some other names. Salmonella, syphilis.
Well, you're over here calling people fat, like when you first meet them. So
Well, I mean, the best thing to do is for real. I used to do this. It was very funny. You would at bars go up to like group tables, like groups of women, and then just kind of point your arms out. You got to be wearing a suit and be really cool, like I was before I got all fat and ugly. But
he's not
just
cool
kind of
anymore.
hold your arms out, kind of point a little bit to your penis with both hands and go, sluts.
I,
And there would be at least one or two at the table that thought that shit was hilarious. The rest of them
you
hated you.
sound like you sound like butthead when you say slut. Say it again.
Sluts?
Yeah, you just sound like butthead straight
Sluts?
up.
Hello,
We went
sluts?
through a phase where we would literally after dinner watch a few episodes of Beavis and Butthead for like
Great
until
show.
we finished it all.
Mike Judge, great guy. I watch King of the Hill all the time.
That's good too.
Mike Judge, fantastic. But listen here, sluts. It just no, just sluts, and you're good. For any of the young men, Matthew, I'm talking to you specifically through the radio. Uh,
Matthew, I would advise you to ignore all advice from Bryden.
oh,
He's
I
here
don't
to
know.
derail all of you. I don't
I
know.
I don't know. I've been with the same bitch for fucking like 5 years now. So
Yeah?
does my did I don't know. Is my advice bad or did it fucking work?
I mean, I've been with my husband for like 11 years, so.
Yeah, but all you had to do was be there. So
Okay, come on.
no,
I guess
women
I
have never
didn't
done
have to give
anything.
any pickup lines. I definitely didn't just say sluts and expect them to come to me. But
I
that's, that's just me.
Yeah, you gotta dress well. You gotta be a good guy. You gotta be
Yeah.
a the way we call it, a made man. Huh? Oh, hey.
You need to record yourself doing this tactic and see what happens.
Why? I'm fucking 34 and fat and like gay and old now. Like, yeah,
That's even funnier.
it's not gonna work now. Now I'm just gonna get a charge. All right, it doesn't
Yeah,
work anymore. All right,
exactly.
it doesn't work anymore. It did, not anymore. Not anymore. Like, dude, it's just too fat. I'm just too fat. I stink like
Too bad.
booze.
You could lose weight.
I'd rather not. It's fine. I'll just deal with it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
You're not
fine.
that fat anyway.
I'm pretty fat. Getting fat. It's good. I'm gonna be fucking fatter than shit. And like when Erica dies, because she went into the hole.
Oh my goodness.
I'll go
You won't
around.
even have to cement it up. You could just stand at the entrance and
Yeah,
block the whole thing
exactly.
because you're so fat.
My big fucking ass. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh my goodness.
That'd
Then
be
you
good.
just leave when it's done.
Yeah, just fucking
Great.
put my gut into the damn hole. She'll suffocate, and then
Oh my goodness gracious.
I can go out there and continue my
Okay.
life as a bachelor.
We are out of time, I believe, for today. We might have possibly kept it in an hour this time. I don't know.
We have 4 minutes.
Left? I
Yeah,
did it? Well,
yeah.
it's too far under. See, I was trying so hard. I was watching the time. Whatever. We're going to close out early then today. Four
All right.
minutes early. Sorry, guys. So remember that you can send us topics, feedback, Dear Abby letters, questions, or Reddit posts at OctoAbby and at Worlds Only Comic on Twitter. We would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening and have a great week, secure in the knowledge that we are with you and we are here to help. Oh, wait, Bryden, do you have something to promote here? Are you doing more stand up?
Um. Yeah. All right. So show's over.
Go. Okay. Yes, show's over.